I'm Rudolph Clay, and I'm from Washington University in St. Louis. And today I'm going to be reading from James Baldwin's novel, Go Tell It on the Mountain. And the reason that it's important to me is that it was his first novel, which is usually autobiographical, and that helps me learn more about the author. He remembered that it was his 14th birthday and that he had sinned. His first thoughts, nevertheless, was, will anyone remember? For it had happened once or twice that his birthday had passed entirely unnoticed, and no one had said, "Happy birthday, Johnny," or given him anything, not even his mother. Roy stirred again, and John pushed him away, listening to the silence. On other mornings, he awoke hearing his mother singing in the kitchen, hearing his father in the bedroom behind him grunting and muttering prayers to himself as he put on his clothes, hearing perhaps the chatter of Sarah, or the squalling of Ruth and the radios, the clatter of pots and pans, and the voices of all the folk nearby. This morning, not even the cry of a bed spring disturbed the silence, and John seemed therefore to be listening to his own unspeaking doom. He could believe almost that he had awakened late on that great get-up morning, that all the saved had been transformed in the twinkling of an eye, and had risen to meet Jesus in the clouds, and that he was left with his sinful body to be bound in hell for 1,000 years. He had sinned. In spite of the saints, his mother and his father, the warnings he had heard from his earliest beginnings, he had sinned with his hands, a sin that was hard to forgive. In the school lavatory alone, thinking of the boys, older, bigger, braver, who made bets with each other as whose urine could arc higher. He had watched in himself a transformation of which he would never dare to speak. And the darkness of John's sin was like the darkness of the church on Saturday evenings, like the silence of the church while he was there alone, sweeping, running water in the great bucket, and overturning chairs, long before the saints arrived. It was like his thoughts as he moved about the tabernacle into which his life had been spent, the tabernacle that he hated and yet loved and feared. It was like Roy's curses, like the echoes that curses raised in John. He remembered Roy on some rare Saturday when he had come to help John clean the church, cursing in the house of God and making obscene gestures before the eyes of Jesus. It was like all of this, and it was like the walls that witnessed and the placards on the walls which testified that the wages of sin was death. The darkness of his sin was in the hard-heartedness with which he resisted God's power, and the scorn that he was often his while he listened to the crying, breaking voices and watched the black skin glisten while they lifted up their arms and fell on their faces before the Lord. For he had made his decision. He would not be like his father or his father's fathers. He would have another life.